ESPN NBA insider Adrian Wojnarowski. Why? Why can't I just say Woj every single time? It's just so hard. I know. I should. Everyone else does. You reported earlier today the Hornets are now willing to trade Kemba Walker. Before we can ask you more on that, he was asked about it at Shoot-Around today.
Someone quoted you, I don't know the circumstances, as saying you would feel devastated if they traded you. Is that accurate? How you feel?
I mean, of course. I've never been in that situation. I don't know what it feels like, and like I said, this is my first time that my name has come up in a situation like this. So it's kind of new to me, and but yeah, I'll be pretty upset. But like I said, man, I'm here right now, and I put my heart and soul into this team and into this city. So that's what I'm going to do, until everything is over.
He very obviously wants to stay in Charlotte. So what is the latest?
I mean, what Charlotte is motivated to do now is to use Kemba Walker to see if they can attach him to one of the really bad contracts that they have on their roster. Nick Batum, 4 years, $100 million left. Dwight Howard, 2 years, $47 million. No one's taking those deals off their hands, but Kemba Walker at $12 million a year, coming off his best season in the NBA last year, he allows them to start getting out from under. The other pathway is just to do a straight Kemba deal around the league. Could they get back a good enough young player, a first-round pick, to make it worth trading not just their franchise player, but the face of that organization, easily the most popular player since the team has moved back there? That is not an easy decision for them to put him out on the market, but they've done that here in the last week to 10 days.
GM Chauncey, what do you do?
It's a tough call. I mean, I think he's one of the top point guards in the Eastern Conference. Obviously was an all-star. You can't just give up on that easy. But you want to always try to possibly try to better your team. It's a tough call. They do have some bad contracts. There are woes that obviously they just signed with Batum, but it's really a tough call. You got to get something. You got to get an all-star type caliber player in return.
That's tough.
I think the Charlotte Hornets are asking themselves, how far can we go with Kemba Walker being our best player? And they pretty much peaked as a team. If you look at their roster, I mean, they have a number of guys with so-called bad contracts now. They gave Nicholas Batum $100 million. They signed Dwight Howard. And this guy, he's playing for a bargain. I mean, he's only getting, $12 million a year. He might be the lowest starting point guard that's been in the All-Star game in the league. Is there a destination for Kemba? Of course. I'm sure there's many teams around the league. I actually can see him fitting really well with your team, Beats.
Oh, would that be the San Antonio Spurs,
San Antonio Spurs. I think that'll be a great destination.
You don't get better by trading your best players.
They're not trying to get better.
First and foremost,
not that good.
For all of the fans. Next, he's the 6th highest paid player on their team. That means they signed some bad deals, like you guys just mentioned. Now they need to use him as a pawn to get from under him. But Kemba, I got news for you. These guys got jerseys hanging in the rafters in Boston and in Detroit. But seasoned, grizzled vets, we've been around the league. It won't be the worst thing to get traded from Charlotte. Don't be devastated. Just stop building that crib.
You're going to get some
You'll get another one, I promise you. It'll be just fine.
Another big one.
It'll be just fine, Kemba.
And part of it, too, is they're 4 games out of the playoffs in the East. They're 7 games under 500. And they thought this would be a playoff team this year. They've had injuries. They lost Steve Clifford for over a month, their coach. Around the league, teams, the 2 best assets in Charlotte, you talk to people around the league, their best player, Kemba Walker, and their coach, Steve Clifford. There's not a lot of value beyond that.